The next 24 hours for Arsenal Football Club is going to be one of the most anticipated ever in history. I'm Ty Knight here for TK24 Sports, and if you're new to the show, like, subscribe, turn that notification on so you don't miss a show every time we upload. Let's get into it. The Champions League draw is up and coming as we speak, so we don't know who Arsenal have yet. But transfers is something that needs to happen. Arsenal go into this window actually light, selling players of the likes of an Aaron Ramsdale to Southampton, Eddie Nketiah to Crystal Palace, Smith Rowe off now again to Fulham. Other players have notably gone out as well. So you got Fabio Vieira that's gone out. He's gone out on loan. You got Tavares that's gone, and you got Albert Salvi Lokonga that's gone as well. But no one's really caring about those three. But Arsenal are left short up front and also on the right wing, as they have been actually. So I should be saying for the last 2-3 seasons. And this is something that Arteta can't seem to get right. He likes to swap goalkeepers in and out loads of times. How many goalkeepers has he bought in this time? Loads. But yet he is still yet to buy an absolute number 9, a pure number 9, and a right winger, not just to be Saka's backup, but actually to be a challenger to Saka to get the best of him. And this is a problem with Mikel Arteta and Edu. I'm going to say both. Because Edu's the one who goes out and buys. Arteta is the one who tells them what they actually need. And I'm sure Arteta's had advice from Edu and everyone else saying, I think we need a striker, and I think we need a right winger. And I'm sure it's Arteta going, no, I don't think so. I think we're covered. I think we're covered. But then again, Arteta's also, and the reason why I say that is because Arteta's one mostly saying, I'm not happy with the goalkeeper. And then you go and buy Ramsdale, then you go and buy Raya. So I understand. So it's only actually really and truly 2 goalkeepers that he's purchased since his time at Arsenal. So maybe that could be an exaggeration, only because we had Leno and Martinez while he inherited the squad. So that's why it looks like he's had loads. But then again, he just jogs on the ones he doesn't want, or in 2 that he's wanted and decided actually the other one is not good enough because of his lack of concentration. So that's why Ramsdale's no longer at the club. But when it comes to the striker situation, okay, he took a gamble. Kai Havertz wasn't meant to be brought in as a striker, but he's had to go in there because Jesus, another player that he has bought, just really and truly is not an out-and-out goal scorer. And Arteta doesn't see that, and I think that's his problem. He's too mixed up in this fantasy of one player to be a hybrid of 2 positions, as he thinks that's more better and suited for the way he wants to play rather than what's needed to win things. And it sounds like I'm being critical, but I'm not, because many Arsenal fans share the same views that you need specialists in a position, not hybrids. Hybrids don't win you everything. They're good at 2 things, but not good at one. And sometimes you need one player to be good at one. I'm surprised he hasn't found a goalkeeper who can play in central defence or right back as well as being a goalkeeper. It sounds stupid, like I'm taking the mick, but I'm not. The striker is so important. You need someone with that attention to detail, that eye for goal. But then again, there's not many good strikers out there. I don't know what age you are as you're watching this show, but I mean, I grew up on the likes of a Ronaldo, and Ian Wright, a Bergkamp, a Robbie Fowler, a Les Ferdinand, and Alan Shearer. I'm just going through them. Okay, so in different leagues, you got Shevchenko, you got Hernan Crespo. I would say Del Piero, but he's more of like a Havertz in that respect, or a Jesus. So I'm going through names here to blast from the past, but these guys were number 9s. They would score goals. They weren't a 9 or a 10 or anything else. They were just strikers, and this is what Arteta's problem is. I just don't think he fully understands the striking role. He understands the playmaking role, the defensive role, because that's who he was. So the striking role, I just don't think he gets it. But maybe he does, and I'm just short-sighted and a bit stupid when I'm saying these sort of things. But we do need a goal scorer. And as much as people say go and burst the bag for Isaac, but 100 million still for someone who is injury prone is a risk. You have an Ivan Toney link now that people are not even too thrilled about. But then again, at 28, 29, he bought Mourinho in at 28. So what's the problem? I don't see there to be a problem for his age. If he's going to do a job, then why not bring him in and get him to scoring some goals? If we can get him to score, 30 odd goals in this season, or 25 goals, that's amazing. 25 goals from an Ivan Toney would be amazing. The same way if you brought in an Isaac and he scored 23 goals, people will be don't want to say the word, but they'll be jumping up jumping up for joy, saying, "Okay, that's what we needed. That's what got us over the line. 23 goals in the Premier League, and he helped us." I don't think that would have been the case for me. I would have said, "Well, if you have to spend nearly 100 million, I'm looking at 35, 30 to 35 Premier League goals on its own." You see, when you talk about that sort of money, I'm talking about high returns, not a mediocre return. Ivan Toney at 45, 50 million. Yeah, to me, 20, 25 goals in the Premier League, cool, that will help. But what else can that player bring in? And now we move on to the right wing, and then we're now linked with Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich, the man who has travelled Europe, but on a big stage of Europe, a Juventus, a PSG, and now a Bayern Munich. The one thing you've got against him is that he's just injury prone. You can't talk about the way he plays the game. You can't talk about the way he dribbles. You can't talk about the way his pace is because he has all that. He just has an injury record and it's not great. So Arsenal in these next 24 hours has to do something. They have to do something big, really and truly big. But what is big? Is it the name or is it the price or is it both? I mean, what's your thoughts so far as you're watching the show? If you think about a right wing and left wing, do we need a left winger? Or is it just a right winger? Because the midfield is sorted, in my opinion. The defence, we do not need another defence. Yes, you need a backup goalkeeper because now Aaron Ramsdale's gone, but you do need a striker because you can't rely on Jesus. You do need a right winger because you can't rely on Reece Nelson to pull in any performance to a level of what Saka can bring in. So right wing is tough, and if it's Kingsley Coman who can play on the right wing as well as the left, so be it. If it's on loan, so be it. If it's a permanent transfer, so be it. Liverpool's gone out there and they brought in Federico Chiesa, injury prone, but he still has something about him. And the way Liverpool look at that is, you know, you're not going to be the number one. You are going to get some starting games for sure in the season, but Salah is still number one. And Federico Chiesa is cool with that. I think Kingsley Coman could be cool with that, knowing that he's not always fresh and fit. But when he is, and when there's games that's not as meaningful in the Premier League, then Arsenal could rotate him with Saka 100%, 100%. And that also gives us depth off the bench. So when we're looking at, okay, we want to rest Saka now, like we do with a Martinelli, we want to bring a bit of trickery on. You can bring on a Kingsley Coman who can rip it up. Because when he played against Arsenal in the Champions League, he scared the living daylights out of me. He is that good. But that's my opinion. What's your opinion? What sort of striker and what sort of winger should Arsenal go for? And when people are saying I can't see him going for both, then you're hugely mistaken. You're hugely mistaken. Arsenal just don't let things out into the open as to what they're going to do. It's smart. It's clever. Liverpool do that. I think they can. I think they can go for two. 100%. I think they can go for two. I'm not being naive. I'm not just saying this, but we just don't know who. We just do not know who. If they put in an Ivan Toney and put in a Kingsley Coman, what's your thoughts on that? Is that going to say to you, Arsenal are bloody serious, but it may not be the players that I want? And truth be told, whatever players they bring in, no one's ever going to be 100% happy. No one. Even if you brought in Alexander Isaac, not everyone's going to be happy. I wouldn't say I'd be happy. I'd be cool, but I wouldn't be saying, oh my God, that's the player. Because again, I grew up in an era where you get a player and you're like, damn, that's a player. Nowadays, you're like, oh, can he do this? Can he do that? And I think maybe we're just a bit too judgmental on players these days. That's why sometimes I call my jets when it comes to transfers. I'm looking at players though, they can make a difference, definitely. So if you're new to the show, like, subscribe, turn that notification on, and keep on watching and keep on sharing. Road to 1,000 is on its way. Thank you so much. Have a great day.